Okay, so I am just pulling into my orthodontist here now and just going for my appointment for March. And guess I'm going to be getting new power chains. And what color did we decide we're going to go with?
Purple!
Purple! We're going to go purple, something Easter colors for today. I'm getting rid of these green, and they served me well for St. Patrick's Day. And I'll just give you, I'm like running late again, of course, as usual, so I'll just give you a quick little rundown. You can see, I'll try to get out of the sunlight. So I was wearing elastics on the canine and the two bottom teeth on both sides. And they've come down a good bit. They're still a little uneven, so they still got a little ways this side to come down. They're closing better though. Now you'll notice on the bottom teeth, see how those big, that one and that one, those two molars are totally squished in. So they really need to straighten up and come out more and in line with the rest of the teeth. My bottom teeth are still a little uneven, and I haven't gotten the root canal done yet on this one. I did have a consultation with the endodontist, and it's booked in for sometime in April. Anyway, I will give you more of an update when I get back out, but I have to run for now. So bye for now. Okay, so I am back, and it's the next day, and I did my video, and when I watched it, I was chopping half of my mouth off when I was going in on the close-up. So I'm redoing it now, and it's the next day from the day that I had my appointment. So let's see. I have no power chains on, which I'm a little disappointed about because Ashton was with me to pick out the color, and we didn't get to pick it, did we, Dolly? No, we didn't. So no power chain this time. So remember I was saying my bottom teeth, those two crowned molars, that one and that one were really slanted in and twisted in. And they're coming along a lot better now, just in one day. But what had happened was the doors. So I have the Damon Braces, which have the doors that close, that keeps the wire in place. And the doors had popped open, and the wire then wasn't doing the work of keeping the tooth up. And I'll come in really close. Can you see that there's like a black line right there on that crown? So that's where they cemented the crown onto the existing tooth that was there. That was originally down to the gum line because the tooth, I guess, was originally slanted in. And now where they're pulling that tooth up, you can see that that black line is really obvious. And you can also see my natural tooth underneath it, which is being pulled up out of the gum. So I guess what was actually happening when the doors let go and the wire wasn't holding those teeth in place, where the teeth were, I guess, originally going back to their original place. Yes, the doors were popped open, and so the teeth, I guess, were returning back to their original position, which is why they were going so slanted inward compared to the rest of my teeth now. So anyway, what they ended up doing when she tried to, before she took this wire, or my old wire off, she tried to push the wire in to close the door to see if she could get the door closed. And when she did, she popped the bracket off of that crown. And for anybody that has crowns and gets braces, it's a different kind of cement or glue that they have to use because it's a porcelain crown and not a natural tooth enamel. And I guess it's not as strong, so they do come off easier. Anyway, it broke off clean as anything, and it felt great to not have a brace on, but anyway, then the bracket on, so then she had to put a new bracket back on this side, and then my orthodontist came in and she said, no, let's pop this bracket off too, replace this side as well, and drop her back to a slighter wire because we have to get these teeth now moved back into position. And because of that, she said to be aware that my front teeth are probably going to do some little funny twists and turns again, which we were kind of getting worked out, because remember, the last wire that I had in, I've had it in for like probably at least the last 3 visits or maybe even more, and it had a bunch of bends and kinks and stuff in it because they were doing the detailing work. And now we're probably going to lose a little bit of that. She said not to worry, they'll be able to get that back and pretty fast. But I just always feel like I'm going 1 step forward and 2 steps back each time, now that we're in like the last year of braces. I don't know if anybody else's journey is going along like that or not, but anyway, if it is, let me know so that I feel like I'm not alone in this. So that's what's happening with my bottom teeth. She also said no power chain because I guess they need to, the teeth to be able to move around to make room for those 2 molars to get back in place. Now, the girl who was changing out my wires said to me that those teeth on the inside are never going to look perfectly in line because where they're crowns. And they're a bigger tooth than what my natural tooth would have been. But she said they will look a lot better than what they do. So not to worry. Anyway, they looked, I think, better already today than what they did yesterday. So it's an improvement. Yeah, so anyway, that's what's happening with my bottom teeth. My top teeth were gone up into a bigger wire in my top and no power chain on top. They did put a bend, they said. The orthodontist said, yeah, let's go with a nice big bend in this. It doesn't really look like a whole lot, but anyway, she's putting a bend in this to bring this tooth down because this is my super duper duper stubborn tooth that doesn't want to come down and doesn't want to do anything right and needs the root canal and just all the rest of it. So anyway, this is hopefully going to bring this side down, and I'm hoping all of these teeth will kind of then come down because that'll then fix the bite as well on this side. So I think I mentioned that, and I'm not sure if I did before I went in, that my top tooth here was hitting the bottom bracket here just ever so slightly, and it used to happen really when I would be chewing and I was taking it, I was making sure I was being super careful with it. So I mentioned it to them knowing full well chances are you're probably going back into bite turbos, and guess what? I'm back into bite turbos. They're super small this time and you probably haven't even noticed them. So I'll show you my bite turbos. They're on top, on right there. I can hardly see the blue. And the other one right there. So they're just super tiny, and it's just enough to keep the contact away from this tooth and this bracket. Because she said, no, I'm glad you mentioned it because the last thing we want is you to chip that tooth, and yeah, I don't want to chip the tooth, or knock the bracket off because then that's putting me behind again. So that's really it for my top teeth. She did say that because I don't have a power chain on again, that I'm probably going to end up with some spacing happening. And I always seem to be doing that. We seem to be, and I usually get my spacing over here on this side or this side. So far I haven't, so fingers crossed, but she said just kind of prepare yourself for it. And hi. And just be prepared for that. And she said that's no problem, we'll fix that again next time. So chances are there's probably going to be some spacing going on around this side, and I always feel like we seem to be closing the gaps on this side, then they reopen, then we close them again, then we reopen. So anyway, it's just a massive back and forth progress. But they are coming along, I guess. So my bite again, is not the greatest because of the bite turbos, but I'll just show you on the side. And that tooth there still needs to really turn and rotate. And this side. This side is definitely looking better than the other side. But anyway, that's really it. So no power chains, no elastics this time. I'm free of all of that, which is great. My next appointment is in 8 weeks time, so it's booked for May the 23rd, just a couple days after my son's 5th birthday. And it's too bad because this would have been a great time to not have the elastics or power chains for the next visit because we're heading to Florida in June. But I'll probably end up being back into power chains for it and maybe elastics, who knows. But anyway, that's fine. Whatever it is. I'll deal with it at the time. So yeah, so that's really it. Nothing much else to say. These lines are coming together really nicely, which was the one thing that she said she wasn't going to be able to do. So they're coming together quite nicely. And that's really about it. So yeah, if you have any comments, questions, or feedback, make sure you leave it below. And like and subscribe this video if you want to continue with my updates. So we'll talk again real soon. And I am going for my root canal. I think it's like the 1st or 2nd week of April in that tooth. So I'll give you an update and let you know how that goes. It's my first time ever having a root canal. And I don't have to, it's not going to impact my braces. So he doesn't need my braces to be removed to do the root canal, which is a super plus. So I will do a quick video for that to let you know how that goes as well. So anyway, that's it for now. Bye for now.